these variables. So the quantity of weapon that can be carried by a ship is given as 1000 tons. Similarly, they have the relationship between food and ship will be some value. So every variable is related to another variable in a linear manner. They are not exponential, they are not quadratic, they are not into any other power of the variable. Say for example, you may say that if I spend 500 rupees, I feel some quantity of happiness. Then this quantity of happiness can be linear, can be exponential. Like if by spending 500 rupees you are achieving some value of satisfaction, the value of satisfaction achieved by spending 5000 rupees will be much more greater than 10 times spending 500 rupees, isn't it? So they are not into a linear relationship. But whereas if you are purchasing say a set of pen for 500 rupees, then for 5000 rupees you will be able to purchase 10 sets of that pen. That means they are having linear relationship. As you keep on increasing one variable, the other variable will also increase in the same proportion. The proportion will not change. And then what is programming? Programming means it can be programmed into simple steps. So any problem can be converted into same kind of steps, and if we follow that same kind of step, what we will get? We will get the optimal value of the problem. So if you want to find the solution, you just have to follow that simple steps. Those simple steps will be converted into a solution. So what is a linear programming problem? Whenever you try to convert the real life problem which is having linear relationship between their variables into simple step of solution, then it is known as linear programming problem. So what is LPP? LPP is a problem where real life is converted into mathematical model and mathematical equations, and these equations have linear relationship between one another, and they can transform simple. So if I just a second, if I try and start my video. So if you can see my video, if I try and draw a variable, you can see, can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So say there are two variables, say variable A and variable B. So like if this is the quantity of guns a ship can travel, ship can take. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if quantity B is say ships, so a ship, single ship can carry 1000 ton of say a single ship, ship number one can carry 1000 ton of guns or 100 tons of guns. So two ships will carry how much? Two ships will carry 200, isn't it? So two ships will carry 200. So there is a linear relationship between the two variables. If there is a linear relationship, then this type of problem is called LPP, that is linear programming problem. Okay, so you have linear programming problem. Again, if we go back to our slides, right? So what slide says is that you have a linear programming problem which is linearly convertible to solution. So now if we go to the next slide says about the structure of a linear programming problem. So basically any linear programming problem will be having three elements. What are those three elements? First element is called decision variable. The other one is called objective function. The third one is called constraints. Now to understand these three, let us take an example first. So you have an example. The example is a fruit merchant is dealing in only apples and mangoes. So a fruit merchant, there can be so many things he can deal with in apples, mangoes, bananas, pineapples, papayas, so many things. But this particular merchant of ours is dealing only in apples and mangoes. So one he has apples and mangoes. The next line states that he achieves a profit of rupees 2 and 4 on sale of a single apple and mango respectively. So if he is selling one apple, he is getting a profit of 2 rupees. If he is selling one mango, he is getting a profit of 4 rupees. Then he can sell a maximum of 15 mangoes. In a day, he can sell a maximum of only 15 mangoes. He cannot sell 16th mango. So he's selling 15 mangoes and 30 apples respectively. Okay, so he's selling 15 mangoes and 30 apples, and store a maximum of 40 pieces including both mangoes and apples. Find out how much mangoes and apples should he buy in the start of the day so that his profit is maximum. Okay, so if I try to find the solution to this, let us again stop sharing. So now you can see you can see the figure, or you can see my screen again. Okay, so what we have is a fruit merchant. First is a fruit merchant. Fruit merchant. Okay, so this fruit merchant is having a shop. Okay, the quantity that total quantity that he can have is 40, including apples plus mango. Okay, so a maximum of 40 means he can have less than 40 or greater than equal to 40, or maximum of less than equal to 40. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have T, that is total quantity, equal to 40. Okay, uh, let us stop it here. We'll start from the first line of the example. A fruit merchant is dealing in only apples and mangoes. He achieves a profit. So let us say apples. Let us say apples. Number of apples is represented by X, and number of mangoes is represented by Y. So I'm making an assumption that X is the number of apples he's selling, Y is the number of mangoes he's selling. So his profit will be equal to what? Total profit will be equal to number of mangoes he's selling, that is X, into per mango he's earning, per apple he's earning 2 rupees. So X into 2 plus Y into 4, isn't it? So that will be equal to 2x plus 4y. So profit is 2x plus 4y. Correct? Now he can sell a maximum of 15 mangoes. So number of mangoes y should always be less than or equal to 15, isn't it? He cannot sell more than 15 mangoes. So is it profitable to buy 16 mangoes? No. So y should be less than equal to 15. Whereas apples, how many apples he can sell? 30 apples. So apples, that is x, should be always less than equal to 30. Okay. Now, and can store a maximum of 40 total pieces. Okay. So we can say that x plus y should always be less than or equal to 40, isn't it? So what I have done is I have converted my problem, that is real life problem, into mathematical equation. That is, I want to maximize 2x plus 4y, which is my profit, subjected to x plus y should be less than equal to 40, x should be less than equal to 30, y should be less than equal to 15, isn't it? So this type of formulation is called linear programming problem, where this particular function is called objective objective function. Okay, that is, this is my objective. What is my objective? So what is an object? Objective is to increase the profit. Okay, again let us go back to our problem here. So what you can see, or what you can see on the screen, is the problem. So problem states that a fruit merchant is dealing in apples and mangoes. He can achieve a profit of rupees 2 and 4 on the sale of one apple and mango respectively. He can sell a maximum of 15 mangoes and 30 apples, and can store a maximum of 40 pieces including both mangoes and apples. Uh, and uh, find out how much mangoes and apples should he buy in the start of the day. So this is all you can see is alphabetical description of the problem. So when you convert this alphabetical description into this formulation, then it is known as formulation of the problem. Okay, so we have formulated the problem. Once the problem is formulated, let us now go back to what I was initially trying to say, that any structure of LPP consists of decision variables. First thing is decision variables. So you can see what are decision variables. Decision variables are X. Decision variables are X and Y. So these are my decision variables. These two are my decision variables. Why decision variables? Because on these decision, on this my decision of buying the apples and mangoes are pending. If I can, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as I was saying, so these are two my decision variables. If I can select on the values of these two variables, then I can decide how much apples and how much mangoes are to be bought. Okay, now if we go back to what our decision was, uh, see, the second is objective function. So structure requires first, that is decision variables, the variables on which your decision is to be taken. The second is called the objective function. Objective function is what you want to achieve. Okay, so what is your particular objective? So our objective is to find the maximum profit. Okay, so this is our objective function. How do we calculate that this is our objective function? We know that for a sale of one apple, he is earning a profit of rupees 2. For a sale of one mango, he is earning a profit of rupees 4. So total profit will be equal to 2x, that is 2 times the number of apples he is selling, plus 4 times the number of mangoes he is selling. So what we need to extract is that 2x plus 4y is our objective function. We should find the value of x and the value of y such that the total value of these functions should increase. So this is called objective function. Then after objective function, again if we go back to the next topic, that is constraints. So what is constraints? The constraints is the resources, scarcity of resources. What resources we are having is scarce. Now if you see, he said that the maximum number of apples he can sell, maximum number of apples he can sell is 30. So the scarcity of finding customers, there, that is one resource na, the who will buy the apples and mangoes? Customers. So the scarcity of finding a new market, finding a the place for selling more apples, or finding more place to sell more mangoes is limited. So that is limited to what? And that is limited to a 30 quantity. So apples is 30, mangoes are 15. So this is one constraint. These are constraint on consumers. He is not having that much consumers. Okay. Then there is one more constraint. This constraint is on storage. So you can see there is a constraint on storage. That is, he cannot have more than 40 pieces. Now, if he can have only 40 pieces, if you see, if you add these two, 30 plus 15 will give you 45. But he cannot have more than 40 pieces. So you cannot, like, if he's having, if he's selling it through any bucket or a basket, then that basket can accommodate only 40 pieces. No more than 40 pieces can be accommodated. So this is now problem. If there is no problem with this constraint, if there is no constraint like this, then he could simply buy 30 mangoes, 30 apples, 15 mangoes, and can increase his profit, isn't it? By simply, if I substitute here, so if I say 30, 2 into 30 plus 4 into 15, so that will give me, this is 60 plus 60. So my profit will be equal to 120, isn't it? Simply 120 I can get the profit. But this is not the case. Why? Because I am having a constraint of 40. I cannot increase more than 40. So now I have alternatives. What are the alternatives? I can buy 20 mangoes. Oh, sorry, 40. Na? So I can buy 30 apples and 10 mangoes. Okay. So if I buy 30 apples and 10 mangoes, then the profit will be equal to, if this is the case, then the profit will be equal to 2 into 30 plus 4 into 10. So this will be equal to 60 plus 40, that is equal 40, that is equal to 100. Okay. But now there can be other alternatives, like if I can buy 25 apples and 15 mangoes. So then the profit will be equal to what? Profit will be equal to 2 into 25 plus 4 into 15. So that is equal to 50 plus 60. So that is equal to 110. So now you can see these alternatives have different values of profit. So this is the problem. That is, we have to find the variables. These are decision variables X and Y. Correct? Any doubts in this? Any doubts up to this point? Students, any doubts up to this point?
Sir, then do we have to use a graph for it, sir?
Graph, now we are not just talking about the solution, I'm just talking about the problem. Yes, there can be graph, like if number of variables are only two, like only apples and mangoes, then it is okay. Now if I say the same vendor is now he also selling bananas, and the bananas he's selling is for like for every banana he's earning a profit. Solve it with graph? No, because the number of variables are three and your graph is having only x and y axis, isn't it? So when
Okay.
the number of variables are only two, then up to that point you can easily solve it with graph. We will be studying graphical method in the next class most probably. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is there any doubt up to this point? Any other doubts? Anyone else? Okay, let me call
Now,
somebody
sir,
who's, yeah, ask me. Huh?
out of those values, the maximum profit, that would be our answer, no, sir?
Yeah, we see the objective is to increase the profit. Okay,
Yeah.
so it should be maximum, whichever is the maximum. Say now I have taken only two example, like we can buy 30 apples and 10 mangoes. I have also taken one example as 25 apples and 15 mangoes. But can we also increase like 28 apples and 12 mangoes? Like this also we can take. Na? You have to make a
Okay.
constant of 40. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so profit that we will take. Okay, so now I'm not going into solution. I'm just dealing with the problem, how to formulate the problem. Once the problem is formulated, then we can go into solution. Okay. Anybody else who's having any doubt? let me call Ramesh 313 Please unmute yourself, Ramesh.
No, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay, Ramesh, can you answer me one thing? If there
Okay,
is
sir.
no doubt, please answer me one thing. What do you call an objective function? How will you define an objective function? If you don't know the answer, let it be brought on to others.
Okay, sir.
No? Okay. Anybody who, what is, how will you define objective?
Your voice is not audible, sir.
Aditya, can you hear?
Sir,
Is my voice audible?
it is breaking, sir. It's not clear.
Not clear. Okay, let me continue with the presentation. Hello, is it audible now?
Yes, sir.
One mango is 4 rupees. Then instead the same problem, we'll write 2x plus 4y, but instead of increasing the value, we will try to reduce the value. We will try to take the variable where the value is minimum. So what is a function, objective function? Objective function is the maximization or minimization. It is not always the maximization, it can be minimization also. So it can be the optimum value of that function is to be achieved. So depending upon whether it is profit or whether it is cost, we will either maximize it or minimize it. Okay, then this is called objective function. What is decision variables? Variables that play part in the optimization of the objective function is known as decision variables. Then what are constraints? Constraints are the limitations on the resources. Say for example, we have given in this example the resource is the storage space. So storage space is maximum of 40 pieces. Okay, so that is called the constraint. Now if you are clear with this, then we'll move on to what is the assumptions, because any linear programming problem states that the problem is having linear relationship. But if you consider a real life problem may not have linearity, isn't it? So that linearity we have to take into consideration first. So that consideration are called assumptions. Those assumptions are divided into four. First is called certainty. Certainty means that we are very certain that the relationship exists between the variables. Okay, like I said, we know that by selling one apple, we are very sure that he is achieving a profit of rupees 2. But this may not be the case for every situation. Like the price of purchasing of an apple may increase and the price of selling of an apple may not increase. So his profit may get reduced, isn't it? Or if he buys an apple and there are no buyers for those apples, then his apple may get rotten. So that certainty we are not having in real life problems. But whenever we are taking the formulation, we are assuming that it is certain that if he buys 10 apple, he will sell those 10 apples and he will earn a profit of 20 rupees for certain. But that certainty is not guaranteed in real life problems. So this is first assumption. Second assumption is additivity. Additivity means that the time required or the resources required for achieving a particular objective is equal to the objective in whole. For example, that in this case the total profit will be equal to the profit achieved by apples and profit achieved by mangoes. So if you separately add these two profits, then also you will get the same profit as we have obtained from the objective function. Okay, in the same manner, the quantity or the storage space required for the apples and for the mangoes will be total of 40. You cannot increase more than 40. That will also be the appropriate values. Okay, similarly, the next one is called linearity. As I said, they are linearly proportional. Like if I am selling one apple, I am getting 2 rupees profit. For the sale of second apple, also I am getting 2 rupees profit. For the for the sale of third apple, I am getting 2 rupees profit. So linearly, my profit is increasing: 2 rupees, 4 rupees, 6 rupees, and so on. But this may not be the case in real life problems. Sometimes if you buy like 400 apples at a stock, the cost of purchasing 400 apples will be somewhat less than the cost of purchasing 200 apples. That is, if you are doubling the quantity, you will get the benefit of wholesale. That is, if you are buying it in a bulk, you will get the bulk discount. So that we have to assume that it's a linearity. Okay, we are assuming that whatever quantity he is buying, he is not getting any bulk discounts. Okay, so his profit is increasing linearly. That is, if he purchase even one apple and sell one apple, then the profit will be equal to 2 rupees only. Okay, and even if he buys 30 apples, sell 30 apples, his profit will be 30 into 2, that is 60 rupees only. Correct? That is called linearity. Then what is divisibility? Divisibility means that in this example also, you can also have these resources assumed to be integers, but here in linear programming problem, that is divisible. You will get the values in divisibility also. So sometimes rounding off to the nearest value will not give you the optimal value, but that you have to consider. So assumption is that there is divisibility, but we have to round off it to the next integer value, correct? So these are the assumptions. Then where are the applications? Where can you apply that? Can I have for soldiers implement and
Sir, your voice is not audible.
hello, hello,
Hello?
hello, hello,
Hello?
hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I think there is some problem with the network today. Okay, anyhow, up to what point you have listened to?
Applications,
Hello,
sir.
applications. Okay, so as I was saying, applications are applications like in agriculture, you can define the crops that you want to plant. In military, you can decide the number of troops that you can plot to a post, outpost, how much military should be provided on the outpost, how much should be provided on the border, how much should be provided, and back and forth management where you can decide how quantity management uh,
Sir, not audible, sir.
Time up.
hello, is it audible now? Hello, is it audible now?
Yeah, it is very low, sir.
Okay, so I think there is some problem with my phone today. So what I'll do is I'll end the session today here itself, and from next class we'll continue from this point only. Only anyhow, this was the live slide. There is only one problem that I wanted to start today, so we'll not start it today. In the next class, we'll start with the problems. Okay. Anyhow, I'll share this slide on Google Classroom by Sunday or Saturday. Okay. So you can see it from there. Aditya,
Sir,
can you please take?
previous one also.
Yeah,
Please
yeah, yeah.
include the
All the
previous one.
yeah, yeah. All
Okay.
the slides I'll share it on the Google Classroom. Don't worry about it. Just make
Okay,
sure
sir.
that you click the screenshot and send it to me. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the class.
Have a good day.